in our Tuesday night Bible study. We are grateful. At this time, we're dismissing our children's Bible study group, and we're going to pass out the test for those that are in here. If you need a pen or pencil, we have some up here, and you can come and get it, and we get somebody to pass those out. For those that don't know, we are reading through the Bible. We started in the book of Matthew. Yes, ma'am. We started in the book of Matthew, and we went all the way through the New Testament. And now we are starting in the Old Testament in the book of Genesis. And we are doing 5 chapters a week. And this week, our 5 chapters were Genesis chapters 41 through 45. Genesis 41 through 45. Somebody might say, well, why do you all start in the New Testament and then go to the Old? That's not the way it's written in the book. Well, we did the New Testament first because the New Testament is the covenant that God made with the church. The Old Testament is the covenant that God made with the household of Israel, the Hebrew people. Thank you, sir. All right. So if everybody have a copy, thank you, Minister. All right. We always give a test, only have 10 questions. Question number 1. Pharaoh's dream represented 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. Pharaoh's dream represented 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. Number 2. Joseph named his second son Ephraim. Joseph named his second son Ephraim. And number 3. Joseph put his brothers into jail for 3 days. Joseph put his brothers into jail for 3 days. Number 4. When Joseph's brothers saw that all of their money were in their sacks, they rejoiced. When Joseph's brothers saw that all their money were in their sacks, they rejoiced. And number 5. Benjamin was Joseph's mother's son. Benjamin was Joseph's mother's son. Number 6. The Egyptians and the Hebrews were not allowed to eat together. The Egyptians and the Hebrews were not allowed to eat together. Number 7. The silver cup of Joseph was stolen and found in the bag of his youngest brother. The silver cup of Joseph was stolen and found in the bag of his youngest brother. Number 8. Reuben pleaded for the life of Benjamin before Joseph to return him to his father. Reuben pleaded for the life of Benjamin before Joseph to return him to his father. Number 9. Joseph sent for his father that he may dwell in the land of Goshen. Joseph sent for his father that he may dwell in the land of Goshen. Number 10, when they told Jacob that Joseph was alive, his heart fainted, and he did not believe them. When they told Jacob that Joseph was alive, his heart fainted, and he did not believe them. All right, let's trade papers with somebody. Okay. I think this was not a difficult test this time. Okay. All right. Number 1, Pharaoh's dream represented 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. True or false? Okay, I thought I heard somebody say false, but the answer is true. Okay, so the answer is true. It represented 7 years. What he dreamed about? What? 7 cows, 7 fat cows, and 7 skinny cows. And the skinny cows ate the fat cows, and they were still skinny. He dreamed there was 7 ears of corn that was plump and juicy, and then there were 7 ears of corn that was scrawny, and the scrawny corn ate the good corn and was still scrawny. Now, I imagine that would kind of get you upset, especially if you're the leader of a country. And then Joseph revealed. You remember last week when Joseph interpreted the dream of the butler and the baker? And he told the butler that you're going to be restored to your position. He said, and when you get there, remember me. How long was it before he remembered Joseph? Anybody can remember that? How long was it? Did he remember Joseph when he got to the palace? No. How long was it before he remembered Joseph? 2 years. And then he remembered him because of the dream that Pharaoh had. But it took 2 years. So Joseph, I imagine Joseph thought he had forgot about him. And apparently he did. But the dream made him remember. All right. Number 2. Joseph named his second son Ephraim. True or false? That is true. Can anybody tell me something special about Ephraim? Something special about Ephraim? Joseph's son? I heard somebody say something, but I didn't hear. Put the mic to your mouth, please.
Joseph said that he named him Ephraim because he was made fruitful.
Okay.
Fruitful in that land.
Okay. All right. Now, what I was looking for is Joseph had 2 sons. One he named Manasseh, and the other one he named Ephraim. Joseph's 2 sons were added to the 12 tribes of Israel. You remember that? They didn't put Judah's sons in the 12 tribes. Joseph got the double portion. Now, who was supposed to get the double portion? Some of y'all has been reading. According to tradition, who was supposed to get the double portion? The first son was supposed to get a double portion. So whenever the father died, the first son, the firstborn son, is supposed to get a double portion. And so that's called a birthright. Now, Reuben was the oldest son, and he did not get the birthright. But can anybody tell me why Reuben did not get the birthright? I want to see if y'all remember what you read. Sister Scotty, use the mic if you got it. Okay, you think it's Jeopardy, right? Jeopardy say you asked a question with a question. Okay. All right. All right. Reuben slept with or had sex with his father's wife, one of his father's wife. So he lost his birthright. And the one that got the birthright was Joseph. And so Joseph got two portions. When the number among the 12 tribes of Israel, Joseph got two sons, that was Manasseh and Ephraim were numbered among the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. I just want to see if y'all remember what you read. Okay, sister.
Did he get the birthright because he was the first son from the wife he loved?
Well, I don't know if that was the reason or not. It does not give that as a reason, but it very well could be. But the blessing was on Joseph. I mean, the blessing of God was on Joseph. No matter where he went, he was blessed. Let me ask y'all this. How long was it from the time Joseph dreamed the dream of being in that position of authority, that he was actually placed in the authority? Can anybody tell me how long? In other words, let me ask you this. How long was Joseph when he first had a dream? And how old was Joseph whenever he became governor over the household of Israel? Okay, he was 30. Somebody said 30. Okay, he was 30 years old when he became the ruler over Egypt. How old was he when he had a dream? Sister Bridget? 17. I wish I had some extra points I could give you for that. But he was 17 when he had a dream. But he was 30 when it actually came to pass. And so when I was reading that, sometimes you can get discouraged between the time when God give you a word and the time you see the word manifested. But God's timing is not our timing. God promised you a blessing. If you walk in the word of God, you're going to get that blessing. Sometimes it might not happen as soon as you think it's going to happen. But if you just stay faithful with God, it will come to pass. Now, Joseph, I don't imagine that when Joseph had that dream, that pit wasn't involved by his brother putting him in the pit and claiming he was dead. That wasn't part of the dream, but it was a part of the process. And then him being sold into slavery, that was not a part of the dream, but it was a part of the process. And being put in prison. I don't know how long he was in prison, but the butler forgot about him for 2 years. So he probably spent about 3 or 4 or 5 years in prison. I know that was not a part of the dream, but it was a part of the process. So don't worry about the process. Hold on to the promise. Whatever God promised you, hold on to the promise. Because if God said it, he will accomplish it. All right. Number 3. Joseph put his brothers in the jail for 3 days. True or false? Okay, all I hear is true. The answer is true. Put him in the jail for 3 days. Now, put them in jail for 3 days ain't nothing for him spending all that time he spent in prison and all that time he spent as a slave. But Joseph got them. I mean, he did not do anything so vindictive, but he did put them through the grits mill with that corn and with the stealing and how he accused them. So he did put them in some agony, but they realized that it was because they were reaping some of what they sowed. But what they reaped was nothing compared to what they sowed compared to Joseph. But God told them, say, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Sometimes people can do something to you and they have a negative plan for you, but God will take that same thing and turn it around and make it a stepping stone for you. So what they mean for evil, God can turn around and make it for good. So the key that I get out of that is to be prepared. Be faithful. Hold on to what God said. No matter what anybody else do, can't nobody mess up your blessing but you. Hold on to it. I think I heard somebody say that Sunday. Hold on to your blessing, because again, nobody mess it up but you. All right. Number 4. When Joseph's brothers saw that all their money were in their sacks, they rejoiced. True or false? That's false. Whenever they saw all that money, they say, we know we put all that money. How did all that money get back in it? They carried their money over into Egypt to pay for the food. And when they opened up their sacks, the money was in the food, in the sack with the food. And everybody had their money. Say every man. So that means all of them, all those brothers that carried their money, they found that their money was in their sacks. And they were shocked to find out that that had happened. So what did they do when they went back concerning the money? Yes, they carried double. They carried the money that they carried the first time, and then they carried money for the second time. So they doubled the money because they knew that they did not do that. Somebody else did it, but they didn't have no idea who it was. Okay, so the answer to that is false. Number 5. Benjamin was Joseph's mother's son. True or false? Y'all sound like y'all don't know. Okay, the answer is true. That made him Joseph's what? Okay, all of them were Joseph's brother, but that made him his full brother because they had the same mother and father. There's a lot of us that don't have that. I don't have any of my brothers and sisters that's got the same mother and father that I have. I got brothers on my mama's side, brothers and sisters on my mama's side, brothers and sisters on my daddy's side, but I don't have any from the same parents. But it's amazing how God does things because I love all of them, and I don't call none of them step brothers and step sisters. All of my brothers and my sisters, and that's the way we treat each other, and that's how we love one another. All right. So the answer to that one, number 5, is true. Number 6, the Egyptians and the Hebrews were not allowed to eat together. True or false? True. That is true. They say it is an abomination for an Egyptian to eat with the Hebrews. They thought they was better. Now, I don't know what they thought about with Joseph because Joseph was the second in the whole country, and he was a Hebrew. But whenever Joseph has the table set for his brothers to come in, they had a table for his brothers and they had a table for the Egyptians. So they had to eat separately. Sounds sort of like America a long time ago. There's a poem, I think it's by Langston Hughes, and he talks about how I am the brother. Say, I eat in the kitchen when company come, but the day is going to come when I will eat with everybody else. You know, it was a Langston Hughes poem. He said, I am the darker brother. That's the name of the poem. So that was really good. All right, but God has put us now where we can eat where we want, when we want, what we want, and that's God. Because it used to be a time when black folk couldn't even eat in certain restaurants unless you ate in the kitchen. And that's if you were serving. But now, thanks to God. All right, so that answer is true. Number 7, the silver cup of Joseph was stolen and found in the bag of the youngest brother. True or false? Okay. Okay, I hear some true and some false. But the answer is it was false because it was not stolen. They planted it in there, but they did plant it into the brother's bag. But he didn't steal it. The younger brother didn't steal it. That was one of the plots. Okay, I tell you what. Let's read it and see what it says. The silver cup of Joseph was stolen. Now that right there make it false, right? Because it was not stolen. What happened? Joseph told the people to put the cup, and he told them what bag to put it in. To put it in his younger brother's bag. That was one of Joseph's traps for them. So the answer is false. Ma'am? I heard somebody say. You was getting ready to dance. Why you was getting ready to dance? Because you had all the rest of them right till you got to that. I tell you what, I can't give you that one, but this next one, I'm going to give it to you. It says, Reuben pleaded for the life of Benjamin before Joseph to return him to his father. True or false? Okay. See, I'm going to give y'all that one, but the answer is false because it wasn't Joseph, it was Judah that pleaded for him. But Joseph did plead. Reuben did do some pleading for him, but in this particular case, it was Judah that did it because Judah told his daddy, say, if anything happened to him, say, you can put it on me forever. And so this was Judah. But I will give that one to you if you said true or false, because there was a time when Reuben did plead for Benjamin too. So I'll just give that one to you either way. All right. See how generous I am? So I know everybody got at least one right. All right. All right. Number 9. Joseph sent for his father that he may dwell in the land of Goshen. True or false? True. That is true. And we need to always remember that because Goshen was connected to Israel, but when the plagues were given with Moses to get the children out of Israel, there was darkness all over Egypt. That was one of the plagues. But there was light in Goshen where the people of God were. So we need to remember that God always provides specifically for his people. All right, so the answer to that is true. Number 10, when they told Jacob that Joseph was alive, his heart fainted, and he did not believe them. True or false? True. I didn't hear nothing but true. Well, that must be true then. It says, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. So the answer to that is true. I heard everybody say true. All right, trade back papers. All right. Now, I'm going to ask my questions I always try to remember to ask every time. How many of y'all actually read the 5 chapters? Okay. Well, I'm gonna do like Gomer Pyle. If you didn't read, shame, shame, shame. Okay? All right. And if you did read, you are a winner. Whether you got all the answers or not, you are a winner because you were exposed to the Word of God when you read. All right. Who got them all right? Okay, I see Sister Sherry waving both hands over there. Okay, let me find my sheet. All right. Sister Sherry got 3. Sister Scott? That's Sister Scotty Scott. Okay. Sister Scott got 8. Anybody else got them all right? Just 2 people tonight. Okay. Now, what number did you miss? And you missed number 7. You missed number 7. All right. I tell y'all what. Well, y'all don't want the pastor to be generous. Okay. We're going to give y'all that one. Okay. Look at him, all the way down here for a high five. Because of my generosity. Okay. Okay. All right. That's Sister Alicia, Mike. Uh, Let me see where's her name on him. Your name is on here, aren't it, Sister Alicia? Okay. Okay, I don't see Sister Alicia name down. Okay, okay. Sister Mac, I don't see your name on my paper. Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, I found it. Your name is at the very bottom of the page, and you do have three. Okay. And Sister Smiley. Okay. All right. My brother. Brother Owens. All right. Now, Brother Owens, you and Sister Owens tied. Now, we're going to see who's going to break the tie. All right. All right. Sister, okay. All right. Let me see if I can find your name down here. Sister Wilson. All right. You keeping up with yours. Sister Wilson have 4. All right. Somebody up there got them all right. Sister Lakeisha? Okay. Sister Lakeisha blessed us with her presence last week. Okay. So Sister Lakeisha got 7. All right. Anybody else online? That was it? Okay. Congratulations, Sister Lakeisha. You got number 7. And actually, you are right now in second place behind Sister Wanda Scott. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna name, if you got 4 or more, I'm gonna call your name. If I don't call your name, that means you got a little bit less than 4. Okay. Okay. Sister Wanda Scott got 8. Sister Jackie Shaw have 5. Minister Vandella Harris got 6. Sister Lisa Murphy got 5. Sister Jackie Bacon 5. Sister Anderson 5. Sister Anderson took her test. She's taking a class on leadership, and she has to do it on Tuesday night. But after I get home, she wants to take her test. And so last week she only missed 1, but that was just enough to keep up off the paper. So she missed 1 last week. Okay, Sister Ann Wilson got 4. Sister Bridget 4. Sister Lakeisha Roberts have 7. And everybody else that's on here has got 1, 2, or 3. All right. That is so good. That is so good. Y'all make me feel good about y'all. But if that many folk miss 1 question, then it must be that I didn't word it right or something. I'm going to take the blame for that when you got that many people that miss it, okay? Listen at it. You still got your 8. Why you? You got your 8. You got your 8. Okay. 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 All right. All right. Sister Regina?
I missed 1.
Yeah, how many only missed 1? Okay, but the one y'all missed was not number 7, right? Okay, all right. That's good, right?
I missed number 1.
You missed number 1.
Yeah, because I got it mixed up with 45 and 11 where it says that he was right.
Okay, well, I can't debate with you on number 1 because
When the 5 years of family was going to be left.
5 years, it wasn't, we didn't have nothing about no 5 years now. We had 7 years.
It's on 45 and
Yeah, it was 7. Oh, okay. I can't give you that one because it was 7 years of famine. Okay. Well, how many only missed 2? Okay, all right. That's good. That's good. How many only missed 3? Okay, Van only missed 3. Go ahead, Van. Minister Vandella made 100? All right, so let's see how many that give. That carried Minister Vandella up to 7. So Sister Minister Vandella and Sister Lakeisha Robert are right behind Sister Scott, Sister Wanda Scott. All right. Do anybody have anything that you want to discuss with us that you read, Brother Jenkins? Somebody give Brother Jenkins a mic. And y'all make sure those mics are up high enough because we can hear, but the people on Facebook can't hear when the mics are down low. Go ahead.
Well, what I was impressed about was after he revealed himself to his brothers and they was telling him that they were sorry for what they had done and all, and he told them, say, you did not do that. God did it.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's difficult to recognize when God working
Right.
in negative things.
Exactly.
See, we blame the devil for everything negative. But God sometimes work in some negative things, but he work them together, like you say, for our good. That's good. That's good. Anybody else notice anything that you wanted to share with us? One thing that I got is where how Joseph gave Pharaoh not only the dream, the interpretation of the dream, but he also gave him the answer. He gave him the solution for the problem. See, if you come to me, I'm the pastor, and you see a problem in the church, when you come to me and bring me the problem, give me a solution at the same time. Tell me this, Pastor, this is not what, this is something I think you need to consider stuff, and then I think it would be better if we do it like this. So when you bring the problem, bring a solution too. And that's what Joseph did. He told him what the dream was and told him the negative aspect of the dream, but then he gave him the solution for the dream. And Joseph told him, you're going to have 7 years of famine, but the 7 years of famine is going to look like nothing. The 7 years of plenty will look like nothing when the 7 years of famine is over. He said, now this is what you need to do. You need to take 25% of all that's going on whenever you got plenty and store it up. That's a problem with us. Why can't we store up some stuff when things going good? When you see, if you got a business and you see right now, look like everything you're doing is working out right, working out for you, it might not be like that. You need to be setting aside some of your prosperity now for the time whenever it get to be a famine in your life. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Now, black people in general, I ain't going to say all black people, but in general, black people, we'll work. Most of the time when you go like these restaurants and stuff, you see that good cooking coming out of there, that's black people most of the time. And you go to these restaurants and you see black people all over and doing all this work, but how many of them you see own the business? Because we learn how to work and not how to invest. See, and not how to manage. And so that's what the Lord, when I was raising my children, I always taught them to pay your tithe. Because if you pay your tithe, God is going to bless you and give you increase. It's better to have the 90% with God's blessing on it than to have the 100% without God's blessing on it. So my children, they learned how to tithe. And when you tithe, God give increase. But I never taught them how to invest. I never taught them how to save. I never taught them how to use what they got in order to build up more. Because I didn't know. Nobody taught me. So you can't teach what you don't know. So I never taught them how to save properly, how to invest. And when I got where I got a raise on my job from being an apprentice to being a mechanic. And that was a big raise. But you know what? When I got that raise, my budget went up just like it did. I started spending it just like I did because you can get to a point where you're accustomed to spending what you made. you'll get to a point where you're used to living out of whatever you don't think about no setting aside. See, I could have set that money aside because I wasn't used to having it. See? And so I learned, and the Lord showed me, and I'm not telling anybody to do this because I'm not saying this is what the Bible teaches. But Pastor Anderson learned, I have a system. I pay my tithe first, give God his part because God should get the first 10%. So I give God my tithe, and then the Bible says tithe and offerings. And it don't say how much offering. So what I do, I give 10% tithe, 10% offering, put 10% in my savings, and then I live out the rest. And when you get accustomed to doing that, then you won't miss that money. My wife, I don't hate to tell her business, I'm going to tell her because for a little bit. For church. When my wife was working in the school system, she paid her Social Security and she paid her teacher retirement. But she had money taken out of her check every pay period that she never saw. And when she retired, Sister Girl had some money. I ain't going to tell y'all how much because I don't want nobody to ask her for no loan. But Sister Girl had some money. And I was amazed. And the thing is, it was money that she never saw, so she didn't ever think about going back and get it. So she had a nice piece of change after she retired. So she didn't retire in no poverty. She said that her goal is she don't want to be no broke old lady. And that's my goal for her too, that she won't ever be broke. So you got to learn to set aside some money because stewardship is as important as making the money. When you make money, see, God's going to give you increase. If you pay your tithe and your offering, God's going to give you increase. But if you're wasteful, no matter how much increase you got, you'll always be broke. Amen. If you get used to spending every dime you get your hands on, it'll become a habit. It'll become you become addicted to it. Because what I used to do, I used to save money, put it in the account, and when I looked, I had some money, I'd go and get that money back. I had some reason I had to go back and get that money. I had it in one of these where you could put it in there with your tithe, like a debit account. I had that money in there. Man, if I had $200 in there, I had to buy something. I was just used to being broke. But I'm going to tell you, I thank God that you need to learn to be a steward, a good steward over what God bless you with. God will bless you. Tithe and offering will cause you to have increase. But if you got increase without good stewardship, you'll still be broke. All right. Anybody got anything else? Okay, well, I really enjoyed reading this. It was like reading a novel, just a story. And so it was easy reading. It was good reading. And one other thing I wrote down here is I wrote down in verse 40 and 41, when in verse 30 through 36, about how Joseph prepared for the famine. Whenever you know something coming, you need to plan for it. Don't just wait until it shows up. Plan for it. So Joseph had a plan. And another thing too, dreams and visions does not necessarily, even if they come from God, dreams and visions does not mean it's necessarily going to happen. I know I shook somebody up right then. Dreams from God and visions from God does not mean it is necessarily going to happen. The dreams and the visions prepare you for what's going to happen. The Lord showed me that. I keep getting to my own personal testimonies, but ever since I was young, God would show me different dreams, and I would be amazed how stuff would actually happen. And then after I got saved, God would show me visions, and when He showed it to me, almost everything that I noticed was negative, was bad. And I would see those bad things actually come to pass after God had showed it to me. Then one day God revealed to me, I am showing you these things not because they have to happen. I show you these things because they will happen if you don't do something about it. In other words, God will prepare you. He won't let stuff just sneak up on you. He'll prepare you. And just because God show you something negative does not mean it's got to happen. What it means is God showing it to you so that if you can do something to prevent it from happening if you do what God tell you. So in that dream, the part about the 7 years of plenty and the 7 years of famine, that did come to pass. But the part about the famine eating up the blessing didn't happen. Why? Because Joseph prepared. See? So according to the vision, after the 7 good years, when the 7 bad years was over, the land would be in such bad shape like it's never been before. But what happened? Joseph had a plan. See, God showed him this what could happen, but it didn't happen because he planned and he prepared. Preparation is important. Prepare for things. When you see negative things coming, or some of y'all have what they call intuition and all that kind of stuff. And when you can see all that stuff coming, do something about it. Don't just wait until that happens and say, well, I already saw that. I knew that was going to happen. No, God will give you warning in advance before destruction comes. All right. I appreciate you all tonight. And I still got 2 or 3 things, but I'd like to let y'all out at least by 8:15, and it's 8:14 now. Anybody got anything else before we dismiss? All right. Well, we appreciate y'all so very much for coming, and I especially appreciate you for reading because it's been a really good lesson, and I learned something, or something. I might not have always learned something, but something is refreshed, something that you already know, and God stirred up. Like Paul told Timothy to stir up the gift that's on the inside of you. So sometimes it just needs to be stirred up and put you in remembrance. All right. If y'all don't have it, I thank y'all. Y'all always remind me about the offering and thing. So what we're going to say to our Facebook family and friends, if they haven't already cut us off, that be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And if you all would stand, we're going to pray for the offering and dismiss. Father God, we thank you right now in the name of your son, Jesus.